Welcome to another edition of PENSDOWN. Here we sit with journalists and get to understand their journey through their crafts, the things they go through while bringing us the news. Today I have been joined by a colleague. He is a multimedia journalist currently working with the Ghana News Agency as an editor, where he is saddled with web design and maintenance, graphics, video production and editing, as well as other editorial duties. He is the founder and publisher of online news blog, Laboni Express, a general news portal that delivers local and international news to a diversified audience. He is a product of Ghana Institute of Journalism, where he read for his diploma and degree in communication studies, and Ho Technical University, where he read marketing. George Kwami Agboklu is my guest. You're welcome, my brother.
Thank you, sir.
It's been ages. How many years ago?
Yeah.
15 or so years ago.
Yes. When we worked on the communicator together.
Then it was GIJ News.
GIJ News, yes.
I think you were still on campus when it was changed to the communicator, because I left in 2006, you left in 2007.
Sure, that's right.
Wow, some good old memories. I once hosted Wilberforce here. You know, he was a member of our team, Wilberforce
Asari.
Yes, I hosted him and we had quite some good things to look back to as well. It's good to catch up.
Sure.
Anyway, why did you choose journalism? You could have done anything. For instance, then I knew you as somebody who was taking photographs. Am I right? Those times you were working on the campus paper. So photography is also a profession on its own. Maybe you could have done that. Why journalism? And why didn't you even make it photojournalism?
Okay, I'm more attracted to text than the other formats for communication. Okay. I grew up reading a lot of magazines. In our home, we had a variety of magazines: Time Magazine, Reader's Digest, and West African Magazine. It's an old magazine then, So I was attracted to those magazines. So I developed an interest in reading. So those magazines, reading those materials helped me to develop some interest in writing and how they are produced. And gifted with art as well. So I looked at my skill set and I said, okay, I naturally fit into this space more than anywhere else. So that's how it began.
You've been in journalism. How long have you practiced journalism altogether?
Okay, not as actively as our colleague radio journalists or print media journalists. But I started blogging in 2008, right after GIJ, at the diploma level. So I wrote to a few newspapers, like contributions, but I hardly got published those times. So I said, if I can do this on my own, why do I have to be knocking on people's doors to publish for me? So that's how I started blogging. So I bought a web hosting package account and then bought 2 books on how to develop my own website, and I began. And before I began, I had worked on other graphic design projects like the GIJ News back in 2007. So I had the skills in graphics already. So I just added the web publishing bit to it. So that's how journalism began for me.
So that means basically for you, your practice began with enterprise journalism. That is, you being on your own and starting something on your own.
That's right, sir.
But let me ask you, I mean, this blogging thing came around less than 10 years ago, but you started in 2008. What kind of, I mean, how did you even come about the idea that, okay, so why don't I do something on my own and I'm creating a whole website where I'll put my things? How much writing were you doing that you were convinced could fill up a website and constantly update it?
Okay, in the beginning, I read from, let's say, what I was doing was commentary.
Okay.
On news from the main media, the traditional media, commentary on news items, and then from social media. That's how it started. Then I realized, okay, I wasn't getting enough readership audience.
Okay.
So I was still learning through that process. So I said, okay, what if you wrote something people needed information on? And at the time, I was working directly on property rate and business permits. I decided to offer education in those areas. Okay. So that's how people developed interest. I was getting questions and I was responding to them. That's how I started growing the website. I realized I got more traffic and then the engagements were more quality. Yeah, so that's how it began. Yeah. So in August 2008, I developed the first website or blog, which I called Mail and Stuff. Okay, the idea then was to bring text information and videos and photos. And then the staff aspect was to review products and provide space for advertising. That's the staff bit of it, so mail and stuff. But I ran it for 2 years.
Okay.
That was basically something I designed using Quack Express, graphic design, a pagination software. And I realized it wasn't as interactive as I needed it to be, or as other websites, because readers were not able to respond or comment on posts. So I started exploring in 2010 and I discovered WordPress. Okay. So I tried the WordPress.com, which is hosted by WordPress itself. And I got my hands on it and then I learned about the self-hosted package, the WordPress.org. So in 2010 December, I installed the current one, which I call Laboni Express.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how Laboni Express started.
I want to find out the excitement and enthusiasm that's built up with the initial project. Were you able to carry it onto Laboni Express? Or when you set up Laboni Express, you had to start from the scratch again?
Yeah, okay. When I started Laboni Express, okay, I lost the initial content with the site going down. Okay. So I had to start from scratch. So I built after installing, I started creating content one after another, not on a regular time scale or any schedule. As and when I feel like writing, then I wrote something. Okay. And I took that time to develop and learn along. Okay. The exciting thing was that that's about the time Twitter and other social media were taking off in the US. And I used to read a lot of Time magazine, and I used to buy them from Maxmart. And I read a lot of them, and I followed up on how young people were doing things. And I got enthused, and yeah. And I knew I could do a few of those things. So that's what pushed me.
In journalism, I'm talking about journalism as in working in a media house, not on your own. Since you started working in a media house, what has been the roles you have played? Are they in-house technical roles, or you do field reporting as well?
Yes, I've done a few field reporting.
Okay.
But mainly it's in-house technical role. My current employers learned about my web building skills.
Okay.
And they needed those skills. That's how come I got in there. So I do more of website stuff than reporting.
Okay.
But I produce multimedia content, as in I work with the editorial team.
Okay.
For instance, a reporter brings a story. It needs to go with appropriate photographs and then maybe illustrations or charts and videos.
Yes.
So I assist in putting all that together and embedding them at the appropriate locations in the stories to make a complete multimedia story.
Okay.
Apart from that, I edit text. I edit stuff at my level here. I edit.
Does journalism pay?
Yes and no. Yes, because it's a viable business, or it's a viable business area. Okay. But there are a lot of changes happening, especially being driven by technology.
Yeah.
Okay. So the traditional media model, as we know it, where you produce content and sell, how do you call it? And sell hard copies. Is given way to freemium. Okay, you produce news and sell for free, or give us for free, hoping that advertising will pay for it. That's the model now. And apart from that, there's the subscription model. But it appears the subscription model is not working as effectively as the giving it out for free and then working with some advertisers such as Google or Amazon, those platforms, AdSense or DFP, yeah, to monetize your content. Yeah.
Right. You have done journalism for some years now. How long do you want to take journalism before you drop your pen?
And for me, it's journalism and publishing together.
Okay.
So I'm in this field till I drop. That's how I look at it.
But let's go back. If we are to go back some 20 years, are you still going to choose journalism, or it will be something else?
It would be journalism, because in AMA where I worked, I was in the finance department.
Okay.
And the role I was on was revenue accountant. I could have pursued accounting.
Okay.
But I chose journalism because when I'm on my own, ideas come to me. When I lie down, solutions come to me. Okay. And I feel, and I'm more satisfied or fulfilled when I produce things tangible. like a magazine or a brochure or a video or a photograph. In accounting, I wasn't going to be producing things like that, so I'm not attracted to that end. Yeah. And apart from that, I'm naturally gifted with writing and then artistic skills for graphic design skills. So I didn't struggle in that area to begin any project in that area. That's why. Yeah, that's it.
Right. What would you say has been your most challenging assignment, whether as an enterprise journalist or as a staff of a media house?
The challenging aspects are you have a good story idea, something that you know can serve the public very well. But you need some people to speak to, resource persons, experts. But in some cases, the very people who could speak to the issues are unable to or decline to speak to the issue. So we are not able to, I'm not able to come out with what I know could serve the public very well. That's a big challenge I see often. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you think journalists should be licensed?
I don't think so because the Constitution provides that or guarantees freedom of speech first, freedom of speech, and then freedom of the press. In place of licensing, what we can have is a strong journalism association, a stronger association that promotes more professionalism than what we see now. Yeah.
Right. In the line of duty, has anybody attempted to compromise you before?
No, not directly because I'm mostly working with stories after when they are almost done.
Okay.
So I'm not in the forefront directly to be compromised. Yeah. But I remember before joining a media house, a friend called me one time and wanted me to publish something on my blog for him. Something I knew wasn't true. And I declined. Yeah. That's a very challenging thing.
Is this friend also a journalist?
No, he's not a journalist.
Oh, okay. Would you encourage your relative or mentee or any young person that approaches you with the idea that he or she is considering journalism for a profession, will you encourage such a person to take to journalism?
Yes, journalism is it's a good area. Maybe it's in our environment that it has a bad vibe because of the behavior of certain people. Okay, yeah. And the training itself, apart from preparing you for writing, it prepares you for a lot of other fields in research and a whole lot of fields other than in a media house. For instance, the training I had in GIG helped me a lot in my work as a revenue accountant with communication, customer relations, retail relations, and even writing reports and other things, and the performance of my duties as an accountant. Yeah.
Journalism is experiencing a lot of attrition. So many of your colleagues, I am sure you have realized, have left the field. Even juniors, some have left. Seniors, some have left. a lot more are leaving. What do you think is accounting for this trend?
Basically, it's about earning a living. They get better opportunities than or higher pay. In Ghana, apart from the mainly state media and a few private ones, the majority of media, which are mostly in the private area, don't pay much. So that's what forces people to look elsewhere. That accounts for the attrition here.
How is social media shaping or impacting on the practice of journalism?
Social media, on one hand, has created a market or a channel.
Okay.
For instance, okay. And then on the other hand, it gives quick access to newsmakers and newsmakers, and sources. Good. So without social media, where people put their profiles by themselves publicly, you would have to go digging to find out who is who and what are information about your sources or your experts. But now there's some freely give those things and they even update you on their current projects and what they are into. So you have some form of information upfront.
Okay.
Then as a market, it helps you to distribute your products, your content to a wider audience, even beyond your territory, national boundaries. Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
In the next 10 years, I should be publishing my own online news portal, something similar to Ghana Web or,
okay,
similar to Ghana Web,
Okay. And what will be the focus? Is it going to be a general news portal or is it a specialty report portal?
Okay, it's going to be more focused.
Okay.
Similar to how the BNFT is Business and Financial Times, which is more focused. Apart from the focus, I would okay, let me take that again. Apart from the market area focus, I also focus on doing more interpretation, more analysis than information, the information function. A lot of the other media outlets dwell more on the information function of the media and entertainment more than doing analysis, interpretation. And
which areas have you decided on the areas you are going to focus on? Or that is also going to be a business platform?
Business will be one of them.
Okay.
But there'll be lifestyle. Lifestyle is big. Yeah, it's a cash cow for media.
Okay.
Lifestyle, and then entertainment, as in doing reviews of entertainment, not just saying this person is doing this or has put this video or music out. Reviewing those works of art critically, doing critical reviews to enrich the offering for the audience. That's how I say it.
Do you think the media in Ghana was really prepared for what social media had to offer journalism? Have we harnessed the full might and the full potential of social media to our advantage?
Initially, we were not prepared.
Okay.
But as we adopted, we are learning as we go along. So you can see a number of media houses have mastered it and are using it very well to their advantage, distributing their content. And they're not only distributing their content they produce on their traditional media platforms, but they are also, it has become a strategic business unit for them where they earn income from advertisements. Yeah.
How challenging is it working in such a big media house? You have correspondents all over the country. You have some in Accra, coordination and all that. How challenging is it?
It's both challenging and not challenging.
Okay.
It's not challenging in the sense that it is a very structured environment, well-structured environment. So with a workflow that is clearly defined, everybody knows his or her role. Okay. The challenging aspect is we have a small team, yeah.
Okay.
So when content comes out from the whole of the country, sometimes one can be overwhelmed.
Yeah.
That's the challenge.
How well did your training at GIG position you for the challenges the field of journalism or the media generally brought your way?
Well, the training at school introduces you to the field, and you don't have to stop learning. A lot of the things I do, I learned on my own during school and after school. Yeah, so that's why you see I have colleagues that were in the same year group with, but I have other skills they don't have because they didn't spend as much time developing those as I did. So that's it. You have to develop yourself, learn on your own, and then that's it. You can't rely on school tuition alone. No, it's not helpful that way.
A lot of politicians or politically exposed persons are setting up media houses. The increasing political ownership of the media. We are a democracy as a country. Is there a reason for us to be worried?
Ordinarily, people in that space owning media houses is not a bad thing.
Okay.
Their ownership is not bad. It's okay. What we should be worried about is the behavior, their performance when they own media entities.
Okay.
Yeah. For instance, how they carry out the journalism functions. Yeah. As gatekeepers, they should be the media as a gatekeeper limit certain things and then release certain others and then even expand some discussions. But what politically exposed people decide to relay and expand on sometimes are things that would rather we didn't relay or expand, like playing one tribe against another, and then or one group against another, divisive politics. Yeah, those are things we will do without. Yes.
You are versed in social media. Let me find this out for you. Have citizen journalists, or rather lately, those called bloggers, have they taken the shine of trained, qualified journalists?
I don't think so, no. They are popular. Those bloggers or people in the blogging space, popular blogging space, they appeal to a certain group of people. They produce some kind of content. Okay. Those who are trained journalists are prepared or are equipped to go beyond just saying this person did did this or did that. Doing analysis, doing connecting dots, connecting, linking patterns, grouping, categorizing issues, and then doing things ethically. With the popular bloggers, you don't see the ethics bit so much because naturally they are not professionals, so we understand that.
But it appears the bloggers have made more money than trained journalists with social media. At least that is what we are made to believe, or that is what we see, if it is true.
It is true because the business model of the platforms that they reside on or they thrive on provides economic incentives for viral content.
Yes, sir.
And sometimes outrageous content. There's economic incentive for that. Things that make your heart beat, things that shake people. So with that, we are going to be seeing it around for a long time, unless that economic incentive goes away.
What do you think journalists did not do that made them lose the forefront of social media to these bloggers?
Journalists, I'll say a lot of them, or a lot of us, are a bit conservative. We don't want to learn, we don't want to try new things. We can report on them, but to try for ourselves, what is in this for us? How can we make money out of this? How can we distribute our content through this? We are a bit laid back in taking those steps. But here are people who haven't had the education we've had and want the glamour and shine and the prestige and the respect that can come with being a journalist or being called a journalist. So they strive to do all they can to get into that space. And with the current technology, the barriers to entry are very low. You don't need that much to start broadcasting to the world or to any space. So that's what is driving them into, that's the difference. The journalists are more laid back and these people are more adventurous and passionate about what they do. Yeah.
Do you have a history of journalism in your family?
Yes, I have a bigger brother.
Okay.
Who also studied journalism. Okay, he practiced journalism in the 70s.
Okay.
Yeah, in the 70s, yeah. He went to GIG as well.
That means technically he handed over to you.
Technically, yes.
Are you also planning to hand over to maybe your child or some younger member of your family or something?
Yes, I'm planning to hand over, but not in I'm planning to hand over the business aspect, the business side of journalism, of publishing and distributing content, and then monetizing it. That's the area I'm thinking of passing down to my little ones. Yeah.
Let me pull the brakes here.
Okay.
This has been PENSDOWN, and my colleague here, I've known him for I think about some 15 years, if not more. We worked together while we were student journalists on campus. He already had a technical skill. He could handle cameras and, work with photography and all that. Some of us were learning to write then. And all through these years, he's done things that are related to media. As you heard, he said even when he was working in the finance department, the training he got in journalism came handy. Communication studies is like a blank check. Wherever you find yourself, its relevance will play out no matter the profession or area you find yourself. This has been PENSDOWN. George Kwami Agboklu has been my guest. Here we talk journalism journeys. We'll be back next time with another edition, and I'll have another guest who is a colleague telling us about what they have also gone through in the line of duty. Stay tuned and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for joining us. My brother, I'm grateful for your company today.
I'm grateful, Stephen. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. That'll be all for now. We'll be back next time with another edition. Bye for now.